Hi, this is Rick Goldsmith. I'm the producer-director of Mind Game, The Unquiet Journey of Chamique Holdsclaw. I've got a short story for you. First, how I came to make this film. I saw an article in the New York Times sports section about the great Chamique Holdsclaw, the female Michael Jordan, and her experiences with mental illness. I thought it would make a great film, a much-needed film. And I remembered that my best friend from grammar school, Lon Babby, was a sports agent, and I was pretty sure that one of his clients was Chamique Holdsclaw. I called Lon up. He set up an email introduction between Chamique and I. We got on the phone, and she said, "Well, why you? Why do you want to make this film?" And I explained to her that I had mental illness in my family. My Uncle Albert was a lifelong schizophrenic, and my own daughter was struggling with some very serious mental health and emotional issues. Anyway, I said, why don't we do this? I'll come to Atlanta and we'll meet, and I'll set up a crew. And if during that meeting you feel in any way, shape, or form that this isn't for you, we'll call the whole thing off. At any rate, I guess I won her over. She trusted me, and we proceeded with the film. 3 years later, the film is now in distribution. It's making the film festival circuit, and we get invited to the San Francisco Jewish Film Festival. 2 screenings. The first one's at the Castro. This is my hometown. I live in Oakland. I'm very, very excited. My family is there. The film plays. It gets very nice reception. Chamique and I go up for Q&A. First question, Rick, how did you get to come to do this film? So I give him the song and dance with the article and my friend, the sports agent, and talking on the phone with Chamique and my uncle Albert, etc., etc. Q&A is over. We come down off the stage, and I'm met in the aisle by my daughter, Jamie. Jamie was 17 at the time. She'd been 14 at the time I started the film. And she says, "Hey, Dad, that was great. I love the film. But, in the Q&A, you talked about your Uncle Albert, but you didn't talk about me. How come?" I said, "Well, geez, Jamie, I thought that was really your story, and it wasn't my place to share it, especially so publicly." So we talked for a while, and it was very heartfelt. And at the end, Jamie says, "Well, if this sort of thing comes up again, question and answer period, you can go ahead and tell my story." I was blown away. And I thought about it for a good part of the next 24 hours. We had a screening the next day in Berkeley, and Jamie came to that one as well. And at the beginning of the Q&A, which was led by Lexi Laban, the executive director of the Jewish Film Festival, she said, "Rick, how did you come to make this film?" So I started with my regular song and dance, and then I stopped. And I told the story that I just told you about Jamie and about last night and about how she said, "No, you can tell my story." And right then and there, I introduced Jamie, and she got a standing ovation. She got the ovation for her courage, for her standing up, for her showing that she had beaten the stigma. I was extremely proud of my daughter. And as I reflected upon it later, I realized that she helped me tell the true story of how I got into this film publicly, as I knew it, as Chamique had known it, and as was the real truth. And I think I had been taken by the stigma more than I realized, that somehow that story shouldn't be told, should be kept secret. And yes, I had to give her permission from the story, but she was the one that taught me the lesson of what stigma was about and how powerful it was to overcome it. enjoy the film. And if you have any questions or comments or would like to be on our mailing list, please visit mindgamefilm.org.